What is socially acceptable when you're attractive but unacceptable when you're unattractive? Story 1. About 10 years ago, I was called for an interview to sell Bose speakers at one of their B2B stores. The HR representative emphasized the importance of sound system knowledge, so I prepared thoroughly. At the interview, only one other candidate showed up. A guy who seemed clueless about speakers, didn't know what woofer meant, and had a carefree attitude. He wore a shirt with jeans and sneakers while I dressed more formally. My interview lasted over 30 minutes, with detailed questions about audio systems, which I answered confidently. I felt it went well. The other guy, visibly nervous, asked me to wait for him for moral support since we were heading to the same area, and I agreed. His interview lasted 5 minutes and he walked out with a job offer, having only been asked his name and experience. I was politely told to reapply after 12 months. He was as confused as I was. He wasn't a bad person, actually quite nice, but resembled a mix of Christopher Reeve and Elvis Presley. Even in a professional setting selling high-end conference room sound systems, appearance trumped skills. Story 2. Sexual aggression is often overlooked when the perpetrator is attractive. If an attractive person goes too far, it's dismissed as a compliment, laughed off, or ignored. If you complain, people are less likely to believe you or downplay it. However, if an unattractive person grabs you inappropriately or ignores your refusals, it's immediately labeled sexual assault, and people sympathize without question. I once had an incredibly attractive girlfriend who didn't stop when I asked her to. We were in a car, and I was pinned between the driver's seat and the steering wheel, unable to move or leverage my body. She forced herself on me without a condom, ignoring my protests. I felt violated, confused, and disoriented, especially since male rape by women is rarely acknowledged. When I told her she raped me, she laughed. I worried about unintended pregnancy and the loss of my personal agency. When I shared this with others, at least 3/4 didn't believe me or take it seriously, dismissing it as me complaining about my hot girlfriend. If an unattractive person had done this, people would have believed me without hesitation. It's even harder for women assaulted by attractive men, as society often doubts victims when the perpetrator is good-looking or wealthy. Story 3. At my workplace there's a guy named Hawk who's unattractive, red-headed, balding with long side hair, unkempt nose hair, red-faced, and overweight. He lingers too long at desks and talks excessively, but so do others. Yet, everyone labels him creepy, speculating he might commit a workplace shooting or be banned from school zones. Honestly, Hawk is sweet and nerdy, a typical 40-year-old virgin with many friends outside work, active in softball and volleyball, and seems normal. I talk to him occasionally and he's genuinely nice. He mentioned I was the first to visit his desk in his 6 months there. If he were thinner, had hair, or wasn't unattractive, people wouldn't find him creepy at all. Story 4. In San Francisco years ago, cable car operators, typically young, strong men with a 1890s aesthetic, let attractive women ride for free if they smiled at the crew. This was common in the 1970s when cable cars were used for regular transport, costing just $0.25. It was a running joke among young women, "I'm pretty enough to ride free." My girlfriend at the time, a stunning amateur ballet dancer, was devastated at 24 when she was asked to pay the fare, feeling her youth and beauty had faded. It was a heartbreaking moment for her. Story 5. Many assume attractive women live a charmed life full of opportunities and kindness due to their looks, but they overlook the downsides. Imagine being the pretty girl in school at 12, adored by boys but bullied by girls who spread rumors about you. This trope extends into adulthood, the stereotype of a woman who relies on her looks, lacks personality or skills, and ends up alone at 40. Now imagine being that girl and fully aware of it. You face emotional and psychological bullying from other girls, sometimes bordering on abuse, and boys only treat you well because they want sex. This duality, hostility from women, superficial attention from men, teaches you not to trust anyone. In adulthood, women remain suspicious or hostile, seeking flaws to feel superior or trying to undermine you with their partners. Men offer kindness, opening doors, helping with car trouble, but only because they want something, leaving you feeling objectified, not flattered. Rejection can turn men abusive, which is terrifying. People assume you can't be intelligent or skilled, believing you only succeed because of your looks. You become an extension of others' egos. Women resent you or befriend you to boost their own status. Men resent you if you're not sexually available or pursue you to enhance their ego. This reveals how shallow people can be, valuing beauty above all, creating a dehumanizing existence. Expressing awareness of your attractiveness is taboo, labeled as narcissism or vanity, making healthy self-esteem difficult. Story 6. My attractive older sister, a mother of multiple children, struggles with addiction and is on probation. She tested positive for amphetamines and methamphetamines, facing 2 years in prison for attempting to murder her ex-husband. Her probation officer downplayed it, suggesting it might be due to heartburn medication like ranitidine, and she was released to seek medical attention. My unattractive older brother, also on probation for spitting toward a peace officer while drunk, tested positive for THC despite quitting a month ago. His probation officer dismissed his efforts, noting a Vietnam veteran cleared THC in 30 days, and now he faces a full sentence due to a violent record from 2003 when he was 18. He's terrified, genuinely trying to stay clean, but the system seems harsher on him because of his appearance. Story 7. I worked for an extremely unattractive woman, overweight with a mustache and bad skin, who was also a terrible person. Arrogant, always wrong, and treating others poorly, her decisions harmed the company. I was baffled how someone so unattractive could also have such a toxic personality until someone revealed she was stunning in her youth, even playing a Disney princess at Disneyland. Her beauty allowed her to get away with being a jerk, unnoticed until her looks faded. Now her attitude no longer matches her appearance and people judge her harshly. Story 8. My best friend's younger brother is very attractive. Charming smile, green eyes, good skin, and fit. He's a perfect used car salesman, charismatic and adept at upselling without seeming pushy. At home, he's selfish, lazy, narcissistic, and picks fights when drunk, belittling others for earning less. He cycles through girlfriends without consequences, as his looks shield him from accountability. It's painful for my friend's family to deal with his behavior, but no one calls him out because of his appearance. Story 9. I know a beautiful, thin young woman who seems oblivious to urgency or responsibility. She lacks basic courtesies like moving out of someone's way or apologizing for missing events, simply not showing up. She's not malicious, but her behavior is overlooked. At a performance, another self-conscious girl apologized to me for perceived odd behavior, which I reassured was fine. The careless girl then spoke disparagingly about her, assuming I was part of her clique. It was jarring that she saw me as more in than the other girl, likely due to her own perceived status as attractive. Story 10. I know several people with mental health disorders including borderline personality disorder, alcoholism, and schizophrenia. Of the 9 I know, 3 are moderately attractive, and 5 let their issues dominate without seeking help. These 5 have terrible personalities, cheating, stealing, or yelling when bored, yet the attractive ones maintain social status despite actions like stealing rent money or cheating. Unattractive individuals with similar disorders, like one resembling a Zelda character, are ostracized for lesser offenses, like minor arguments. I've realized I've also judged them unfairly based on appearance. Story 11. Unattractive people must develop social skills to compensate, while attractive people often don't. My wife, a stunning Mexican-Chinese woman, grew up feeling funny-looking in the Midwest, only realizing her beauty in college. By then she developed a vibrant personality which stayed with her. Attractive people who lose their looks often lack such skills as they never needed them. My daughter is very attractive and I worry she'll become shallow. I can only model the kind of person I hope she becomes. Story 12. In college, I learned to be the funny guy to break the ice, but I resented cleaning up after hot jerks, like a football player who assaulted a naive girl at a party. She cried on my shoulder, calling me a good guy, but later returned to him, excited because it was better this time. My empathy waned, and ironically, being less nice improved my luck with women. I'm not attractive, often told I resemble a chubby, bearded college friend. Charm became my strength, but I married a woman who sees through superficiality. I don't understand why people are drawn to attractive but cruel individuals, though one guy explained it as the thrill of hunting and discarding them. Story 13. Attractive people get more conversational leeway. As an average-looking person, I've noticed people are less likely to engage with unattractive individuals, myself included, though I've since stopped this behavior. Attractive people's conversations are enjoyed more, regardless of content. Unattractive introverts are seen as weird or awkward, while attractive introverts are quiet loners. Unattractive extroverts seem overbearing, while attractive extroverts are charismatic, even if their behavior is similar. Story 14. In my junior year of college, I backed into another car while parking, as did another girl simultaneously. I was in a dirty work uniform with no makeup and messy hair, while she was tall, thin, and dressed elegantly for church. The police officer immediately blamed me, interrogated me harshly, and threatened me with a ticket while offering her options, despite our equal fault. Her appearance clearly influenced his bias. Story 15. Being attractive means everyone expects a vibrant personality, and casual acquaintances are hard to maintain because people want to be your best friend, not know the real you. Walking through a crowd, I'm constantly watched, confirmed by others who've noticed it too. People have been unkind to me out of envy, a recurring issue. Social skills took longer to develop because everyone acts differently around me, bringing their best selves, making it hard to learn normal interactions.